filter that should take 6 months to
need to be
the
changed.
solids out of
Yeah.
it and everything. It has to be changed once a month instead of 6 months.
It still doesn't get the chemicals
Our
out.
Our gardens died.
All of our gardens in the neighborhood died. Overnight they all turned
black. And it was around August 10th or 11th or something like that all of them just died. I mean, tomatoes that were this big on a vine, dead.
Cucumbers, zucchini, corn, everything just turned black.
Swiveled up. And they were fracking, and I took pictures of like the sky. There was a mushroom cloud over Ray. It was
a couple weeks ago.
It was about a week and a half ago on a Sunday, and we took pictures of it because it was just this big black cloud. And then I pulled it up on the computer, and it looked like it was just, you could tell that it was big fumes of smoke because I have a night vision on my camera, and there was just big clouds of fumes up above the whole. And I took it from my front door, and sometimes you can't even breathe. Your legs get heavy. I have seizures anyway, and whenever I smell fumes, that kicks it in. It kicks in the headache, and then the headache kicks in the migraine, and the migraine kicks in the seizure. So I've had several of those like over the past few years. The respiratory is like really like a lot of the worst. The incontinence and the turbo poops, they're really annoying because if you're not around the bathroom, you have to run.
Go fast.
Yeah.
Go fast.
It starts out as a virus, turns into some kind of an bacterial infection in your innards, and then you fill up with mucus. Then sometimes the antibiotics work, sometimes they don't.
And then we found out the whole town, all of us are very forgetful. Very forgetful.
Yeah.
And we didn't know until we all got together and had a meeting.
And we're talking about forgetful children.
Yeah.
And now they want to drill by the school, at least.
And they have well water. And it's just a mile down the road.
I want to go back to one thing that you mentioned. You mentioned immoral neighbors. Do you feel that this issue has divided the community?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
The people
Maybe
up
talk
on
about
top
the
of the
people
hill that least
They signed over
they
this
signed
so
over
they could
their
drill on
mineral
their
rights
property
so
and
they could
stuff.
drill on their
And
property.
they were told not to say anything to us, and they didn't. But those people have known us all our lives.
And my dad grew up with his dad, and they weren't one of the older people who used to come and talk to my mother, call her up and everything and talk, and she wasn't allowed to talk to her anymore. And so I don't know if they put a gag order on him or what, but the guy had nerve enough to show up at my dad's funeral, and I resent that. So I will not speak to that man again. So it's beyond divided the community, because I've been in arguments with a couple of them up on the road, and with the truckers. The township, we went down there, fell on deaf ears, and we just basically told them we were going to have to drag them out of the trucks and beat their ass.
Has the truck traffic been an issue?
No, because I told them to build their own damn road.
They built their own damn road.
Yep.
Yeah, because the school bus couldn't even come up to pick my granddaughter up because the trucks would line up 2 hours before the gate would open to let them in with their things running and idling and noisy at 6 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock. And everybody that went out of the house, they were yelling out to cat calls to us, going to work.
And we're talking about an 8-year-old girl waiting for the bus.
She couldn't even wait for the bus, and then the bus came up the one day and almost hit a truck coming down head on.
Because all the other
those were
traffic.
lined up the whole way from the bridge down here all the way up to the top of the hill, waiting for 2 hours
to get in.
And
somebody didn't bring the key, or they had locked them out.
Something, and this happened like days in a row. And
finally they
sent a van for. She gets on a van out. The school bus won't come up.
And they have another road. They come in the other road. Now they're bothering the people down there in Woodruff. They're coming up that way and up around. So the other people had to put a big Jersey barrier in front of their yard because they kept running into their yard. And that. So
they knocked down my mailbox, and they said 2 years ago they put it back up. It's still down.
It's still crooked. Yeah, it's
they're rude.
Then they have nerve enough to send these things out, these cards to some people. Have we been a good neighbor? We didn't get any here, but a friend of mine got one, and they are not good neighbors. They are not. They might be helping the community, but it's on the backs and the blood of our people, and this community and others, and they're making us keep quiet and not talk to each other because we didn't know that there was anybody else having this problem. That's not right.
Were you pressured not to talk to anybody?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
by our attorneys. We were told not to talk to anybody.
Gag order was on.
Yeah, by our own attorneys,
Really?
who are friends with the people from the DEP that tested the water the second time. And he showed up here with his associate with no paperwork to show us what was in the water. And I asked him for copies of the results, and he won't give them to me. So
He's
there's
all,
something
and he was
fishy out.
all happy and jolly,
Yeah.
while we were like,
They were in
no,
shock.
they
I was
can't
ready
do
to hop off
anything
the chair.
for
and
us, and
slip.
he's having a jolly day.
Yeah,
And before he was very concerned, so obviously
they got to
they
him.
got to
too.
him too.
Yeah, they're getting to everybody because it's and then I talked to him and he called and he said, Jeannie, what's wrong? He knew my dad. And I told him that the story of what was wrong, the dog was the reason how I knew that the water was bad because she quit drinking the water. And they, I forget where I was going. What did I just say? See? There
We're
it
very
is again.
forgetful.
There
Yeah.
it is again.
Yeah.
It'll just go in and it'll go out.
Have you noticed an increase in crime in the area? Has there been any crime in the area? Has there been more people in the local bars?
Oh yes,
Have
the
there-
drillers all start fights with everybody and stuff
Mm-hmm.
because they're so rude. And
I don't go to the bar.
I don't either,
Drink. I'm
but
going
like-
to a bar tonight. I have darts tonight, but I
Yeah.
don't drink.
no, but
And
Yeah.
everything,
Uh-huh.
so it's bad enough being in there with the rest of those
we've
drunk
been down
people.
trying to
Yeah.
watch the Penguin game on
Yeah,
the
I'm sure.
TV screen, and the drillers would walk in front of the TV and get up and stand in front of it and stuff. Just try to make you mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're rude, very rude.
Yeah.
Has there been any increases in anything like drunk driving accidents that you've noticed or have heard about, or other types of drinking-related crimes, such as
Not
rape
any more
or
than
anything?
usual.
There always has been.
There's
more
always-
bars.
there's more
more-
bars
There's
in
not
this
even a
area.
grocery
Is
store
there?
in this place. There's one
Really?
Unimart and one gas
And
station.
a whole bunch of bars.
Yeah.
So it's
But-
just a drinking town
Mm.
that way and that way and that way.
I really can't really speak
Yeah,
on
we
the
don't really
drinking
go
because I don't
bars.
drink.
I don't
I don't like bars. I shoot out of a bar owned by the sheriff's daughter, one of the deputy sheriff's daughters, or not daughters, sisters. So we feel comfortable going there.
That's
So
nice.
there's not too many fights there. Yeah,
For
not
sure.
the sheriff's bar. Huh?